Hi, my name is Danny DeKroger, and this is my final project for CS148. I wanted to create a desert scene that has the sun, the moon, the stars, and allows the user to actually select any location on Earth and have the planetary bodies update properly. Here's a sunset. I'll let it just play out for a little bit. So as you can see, the sun goes down, the lighting changes. Up here is the Milky Way. You can see all the stars. Time is passing, which is why everything's moving. Right here, you have hours, minutes. I can control how fast time passes. Here we see the moon rising. And the sun coming up to our left. There we go. Now, one of the features I wanted to implement was I wanted to allow the user to change the location on Earth. So I'm going to change the latitude and put us up near the North Pole, and I'm going to select May 25th to be the date. And for those of you familiar with the tilt of the Earth's axis, you would know that the sun does not set in the summer months in the North Pole. And so we can check to see if this holds true. And you can see we're nearing midnight and the sun is just getting to the horizon but not going to set and comes right back up because we're near the North Pole and it's May. So we can go to the South Pole and you can see that the sun will never rise in May, and but you will get some lighting from the moon. So I'm going to show you a little more detail. I'm going to hit the debug feature. Now the first thing was textures. So to get the ground texture, I just put a simple, the ground and the pyramid, two different textures that I liked. The lighting is directional lighting from the sun, and so you actually get the phases of the moon for free because the moon is lit by the directional lighting that comes from the sun. So here's the sun, there's the moon. You can see it's nearly a full moon right now. These little boxes that shown up are the shadow cameras. So for the OpenGL that I was using, the library that I was using, you need to implement a shadow camera. So I have a shadow camera for the moon and one for the sun to get the shadows on the pyramids. Now the sky is represented by a sphere, as you can see, that I created a fragment shader from scratch to get the colors of the sky that I wanted. So it's a sphere with a fragment shader that takes into account the position of the sun and determines the intensity of the light. It's more intense when it's closer to peak and less intense at sunset, and as you can see, the colors change as the sun goes down and up. You can see the moon is represented by a sphere on its own that itself was textured. The stars are also a sphere with a map of the Milky Way galaxy textured on. And here's one final sunset, and this is my project. Thank you very much.